then what do we agree on? And one more thing, I would have both of us sign that document. Okay? Listen, there's a real simple rule. Everybody gets stupid when money gets involved. Okay? I mean, family members, how many of you have gone for a probate or you've gone for a pre-foreclosure and there's adult children fighting like they were in the third grade because of grandma's house or mom's house or something. All I'm simply saying is before you go into partner-to-partner help or a JV agreement, I would ask this: what do I need? How much is it worth to me? And what do we agree on? And then I would have both parties sign it. That's what I would do. And I just kind of want to clarify that first. But Angel, Jamari, you guys just now you've got the signature, you've got the contract, everything's turned in. Am I correct in that?
Yes, correct, sir.
Awesome, man, that's fantastic. Can you tell me about this deal? What happened and how did you guys get connected on this deal?
Well, Angel reached out via Facebook Messenger, and she said she had this deal in the Sandy Springs area, which is about 40 minutes from me. And she said, I believe at that time she was in negotiations. She didn't have it under contract yet. Interesting thing about this seller, I've never run into this before. He was actually asking for like $100 up front before he would even come out and see the property. And I was like, there's no way. That was really outrageous. So I was like, so we had to back off on that. And then she eventually got him to waive that off. And then I met him at the property and got it signed. And it was pretty much cut and dry after that.
Okay, now Angel, did you negotiate the pricing and everything? Was Jamari just going out there for the signature and the pictures, or how did that work?
Yes, yeah, I had already negotiated with the seller about his price. So yes, Jamari was going out there to do pics and get the contract signed. Like you said, we ran into that little bump at the beginning where this guy actually wanted traveling money, and I just had to say, we're going to have to agree to disagree. And I backed totally off and said, call me when you're ready, which luckily he did. But yeah, so that's kind of where Jamari's role came in, was after I had negotiated, he physically went out with the contract and took the pictures.
Wow, fantastic. And I think you're spot on. And this has just been my experience. Jamari, Angel, let me know what you think. If somebody tells me, well, I've got to have money up front or I need some sort of cash advance, the first thought in my mind, this person's not really motivated. They're really not motivated. If you come to me and you say, I've got to sell like yesterday, okay, all right, well, let's do this. We can talk about it. We can figure this out. But if you come to me and you go, well, okay, but if you're going to come look, you've got to do this and you got to jump through this hoop and jump through that hoop, they're really not motivated. Right. And keep in mind, guys, we're not looking for somebody who wants an offer on their house. I mean, if you want to know what your house is worth, well, hey, here's an idea. Go up and down the street and look for realtors. There's a few of them in my town. So it's not that difficult. But if you need to sell your house, and again, we are in the problem-solving business. That's what we do. So, Angel, Jamar, you guys just kind of dove into this. Did you guys talk about any kind of compensation, or did you guys talk about how that would work, or what was going through your mind on this?
No, not specifically with Jamari. I didn't anyway, because Jamari kind of works in the same way that I do. And he's done JVs before, maybe not with another partner, but you kind of, in a JV situation, one person's really kind of the acquisition and the other person's acts as the disposition. And I think we just both had the mindset, so I did. Normally I do. Now, just like the deal that I have in Oregon, I do that with an investor realtor out there. So I do make him sign a JV agreement, which states specifically that. I handle acquisitions, he handles dispositions. But Jamari and I did not sign it. I guess it's kind of good faith because we're both partners, partner driven. We just know we're going to split the difference. So we did not. Jamari, I don't know your thoughts on that, but
yeah, I mean, this is a partner driven family. There was no need for any of that. And we both met each other at the live event. And the only reason we would do that is if you don't trust the person. And I already knew going into that. I know Angel. There was no need for that. Like I said, it's a partner-driven family. So we just, when she told me what was going on, I was like, sure, I didn't even think about it. I just went out there and got it done.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And I totally agree with you on that. I totally like that idea of family. I do want to ask you this, Angel. Can you go more into the acquisition and disposition? Because, there's a lot of people that knew or
Yeah.
So can you go more into those two parts to the JV thing?
Yeah, and I want to start out by saying sometimes those will overlap simply because what another partner may do best. But generally, you go into it with the premise that I'm calling these people, I'm negotiating a price with them. On the acquisition side, I'm negotiating the price. I make whatever agreements, make decisions on what the contract should look like, how many days they need. I get all the points, the timeline, the motivation, all that stuff. I gather all the information that it takes to get that person to a signed contract. The person on the disposition side will be the person that goes out to meet the seller, sign the contract, and take the pictures. Okay, and additionally, that person, because generally when I'm JVing with someone, I'm doing that because they're in an area that I'm not in, just like with Jamari. And Jamari's probably already going to have some cash buyers and a realtor working for him in that area. Okay, so that kind of comes to the disposition side. He's going to dispose of that easier than I would going into an area maybe I don't have that team set up. So the acquisition side is going to get everything up to the signing of the contract, and then the disposition side will get the contract signed and find the end buyer for the property.
Cool. Awesome. And let me just say, with regard to that whole cash buyer thing, guys, this is what a cash buyer enables you to do. Number one, a cash buyer enables you to make more money on the deal. Okay, because you're not paying a realtor fee, so that's more money in your pocket, or potentially more money that you could offer the seller of the property if you need to. Okay, so that's why we encourage you to build your cash buyers list, which, oh, by the way, going to the Wild Wednesday call, Steph did an amazing job. I guess it's been about a month now, but about a month ago, he did this amazing job on how to build a cash buyers list. If you're not doing that, you're not building a business. You're just growing independence. And I don't mean that as one word. You're growing in the fact that you are dependent on something else. You're dependent on someone else. Imagine the freedom to be able to negotiate knowing that you've already got the property sold. Imagine what that does. That's a pretty good feeling, right? When you know it's all done, it's all good to go. So, wow, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, Jamari, I know this is not the first time that you've done JV or partner-to-partner help. Am I correct in that?
That is correct, sir. My first 3 deals all came from JVs. I had the property under contract, and then the great man by the name of Jason, who was a friend of the Partner Driven family, had the buyers. So, and that's how I did my first 3, and it worked out really.
Wow, fantastic. That's fantastic. And let me just say that there's a difference between partner-to-partner help and JV in my mind. Okay. If you contact me, and again, Angel, you're working several of these deals, so feel free to chime in on this. But if you're working a deal, and that deal happens to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is close to me, and I go down there and I get the pictures, and I get the signature, but you've already negotiated everything. That's just a partner helping a partner. You know what? Send me $50 for gas or whatever it is.
Well, and to touch on that, Bob, because we had that, if you remember. One that I had in North Carolina, you had the realtor that you worked with. She actually knew somebody that would be my boots on the ground, so I just paid that person $150. So that that's all they had to do was go out and take pictures. I wasn't expecting them to find an end buyer for me. I wasn't expecting them to find a realtor for me. So yeah, there's a difference. If you just need somebody to run out and take pictures for you, yes, pay them some money and just you don't need to split that 50-50. When you're doing that, you've got 2 people that are specifically acting in a row when you're splitting 50-50. You have somebody who's responsible for getting it to contract, and then somebody responsible for selling that property off to an end buyer. They've got to bring the buyer, they've got to bring the realtor, whatever. You've got 2 different roles in a split JV type of thing. It's not just boots on the ground help.
Right. Yeah, and that's where I draw the line. I draw the line on JV is. They actually take an active role. Partner-to-partner help is like, hey, can you go grab these pictures and get a signature? The guy's already agreed on a price or what have you. Keep in mind, though, that with partner-to-partner help, one of the things that you might need to be aware of is that that person might need to get a little bit more information on the condition of the property. I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but I have actually had people send me pictures that were not true before. Call me crazy. It's just, it probably is really rare, I'm sure. But at any rate, so that's something to keep in mind there. But again, these are the questions, and this is how I would set it up. And this is how I would go about getting it started. I do want to take a couple of questions. So, Jamari and Angel, if you guys can hang out here for just a second, because Dale, you've done quite a few JV, right? Or partner to partner help.
I have done a few, not with anybody on here yet, and that's something to think about. But I just wanted to tell you a very short story. I'm really glad the deal worked out with Angel and Jamari. But trust is really a big word in this business, and this has nothing to do with you guys. It's about trust with the homeowner. Back in the summer, I had a guy that sent me a list of 5 or 6 properties between him and another woman that were talking to me. And this story led to just what Jamari was talking about. Only they didn't want $100 from out. They wanted hundreds of dollars just to meet you there and show and go around and show you these properties. So I did some research, and I knew a guy that lived who owned one of their houses. These people were scams, and all they were going to do is take their money. They did not own any of these houses. That's something to think about. Nothing to do with JV or any of this. It's just make sure you find out who owns that property.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got there's a wholesaler that I know. I will not call him a friend, but there's a wholesaler that I know not far from me. And one of the things he does is, hey, 5,000 down, and you get the first crack at this house. And this is kind of a common scamish wholesaler kind of gig. And so you put a $5,000 non-refundable deposit down, and you go take a look at a house, and then he tells you, okay, well, your deal didn't, your numbers didn't work out. Well,
and I tell people to put, if you're going to take that chance, put the money in escrow with a title company. You'd be safer than anyone down there.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Absolutely. Good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. Freddie.
Hey, good morning, everybody. But I think Andrew answered my question, though. But again, what you said, Bob, when it comes to money, minds get to change because there's got to be a trust in the fact. I'm going to tell you what happened to me, and which that's why I was going to ask. What's the name? I forget his name. Jamari. That when he split those deals, that you already know what a party that you're going to get 50-50. That's a good bet. But I'm saying I refer about. There was a wholesaler here. He had a partner. They had about 10 deals, and I met the guy, but I didn't want to deal with it because they had a lot of tenders in it. So I referred to another guy that buys a lot of deals, and I ended said that I should have got a bigger fee, but he didn't give me the fee that I wanted because I spent the time to do it with my team, and we wholesale them over to him. He just gave me a referral fee. Now I won't ever trust him again. Next time I tie the property up and give it to him. I think I should have got at least about $5,000 per property. But you have to know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with certain people, So that's what I'm saying. That Jeremiah, when you split with that other guy, when he brought the buyer, you had the property. Did you split 50-50 with them?
See, the way that it worked is it was me and Pete and Jason. I forgot what kind of the split was. It was more like. It was almost like a third, the way we did it, because Jason had brought the buyer, and then, me and Pete already had the partnership where we were splitting it. So because it was the JV, we had to do it like that.
Y'all split it 3 ways, so third. Okay, then that's understandable. Yeah. Okay, yeah. But like I was saying, going back to the trust factor, you got to know who you're dealing with on the other end. But if you don't trust, it's best to get a JV and write it. But I figure people in partner driven, we understand each other more, so it should be no conflict. But still, with things on paper, is a little bit understandable.
Yeah, I understand, the whole idea. We're all in partner driven and all of this stuff, and yes, and I totally love that, and I totally love the community. But again, there's a reason why pirates were known for being pirates, because you can't trust anybody when money gets involved. Family members.
Bob, I just want to say this to you. It's different with partner driven versus a deal that's not partner driven, because if it's not partner driven, I'm going to the closing. We don't close deals as partners.
Yeah.
RVP closes the deals. So if they know going into it, Laura in the back office knows me and Jamari are splitting this 50-50, they're going to pay us appropriately. Okay. So it is a little different because we're not taking this house to closing anyway. RBP LLC is, not us. So I just say, there is a difference there. I would never partner or JV with somebody outside of partner driven without a contract.
Right, and I appreciate you making that distinction. I really do appreciate you making that distinction. Whether it's partner to partner help or whether it's any kind of JV, though, I would have some sort of understanding, some sort of some sort of way of thinking there. You know what I mean? Where everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my take on it. But Kara, yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I didn't have a question. I just had a comment when you guys were talking about the JV deals and whether or not to have an agreement, a signed agreement. I kind of agree with where you're going, Bob. And good morning, Jamari and Angel, everybody else. Because even though, so I'm new, so I don't exactly know everything. I've been in business for years. I've been an entrepreneur for years, but I had a situation with my ex-husband where there were some things that weren't written out, and at the end of the day, when it came down to the money, he just flat out lied. We didn't have anything on, of course, we didn't have anything on paper, so that's not to say that anybody that's in partner driven would be a liar, but sometimes things happen where I'm just thinking of a scenario where maybe you have a spouse and you've done the deal together, but something may happen to the other partner that's in partner driven where they can't, for whatever, physically or whatever, close the deal. And that spouse may come in and say, well, they never said that. They wouldn't agree to anything like that. So how would a situation like that work? Because you wouldn't have any paperwork to say, well, yeah, here's what we did agree to, even though you're saying my husband or my wife wouldn't have done the deal without paperwork. We did, in fact, do a deal without paperwork. Now, for whatever reason, that other JV partner is incapacitated, whatever. Conceivably, I'm thinking like that spouse could say, well, I want all the money because my husband or wife is the one who did the deal. Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely does.
Okay.
I mean, it absolutely does. Angel, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, a couple of things. I don't know if I would necessarily JV with just anybody.
Right.
Again, you kind of pick and choose who you want to JV with.
Mm-hmm.
So that, there is some trust there. But again, if it's with partner driven, and this may be something that Julie and Peter want to think about or whatever, doing that. But it should suffice for when I request that contract to say to Laura, me and Jamari are JV in this, because again, we don't close these properties. As partners, we don't close these. Partner driven closes these. So if we send an email and say we're splitting 50-50, they know that and they'll pay us accordingly. So it is a little different.
Okay, so where I see. So where I was thinking was
now, and I just want to furthermore say, if for some reason along the way Jamari or I didn't act appropriately on whatever we were supposed to be doing, that's kind of too bad, too sad. That's where the trust factor comes in. Say Jamari just all of a sudden doesn't want to find me a buyer, or doesn't want to help Ivan get in the house to look at something. Well, it is what it is. I'm going to have to pick up the slack and move on to get the deal to the finish line, and it's just the way it is. So be careful and, develop some rapport with the person if you're going to be willing to JV with them. Have some conversations with them. Make them your accountability partner, so those conversations, you can build trust with each other along the way. There's no perfect situation in real estate, and there's thousands of horror stories.
Yeah.
Okay? So my thought is make it clear, if you're going to JV with a partner and partner driven, just make it clear to the back office, that you guys are splitting, and you've got to take some risk with that other person is going to act in the, in the best interest of the deal. And if not, you're going to have to pick up the slack and get it done and still split. You know, I mean, it's just the way it is. That's something, like I said, I think, you know, Peter and Julie might want to look at it at a later time. You know, maybe they want to make a little JV agreement or something for partners to sign if they do. But you know, it's kind of on you. I'm not going to partner with just anybody. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
and yeah, I see what you're saying. I wasn't thinking it was a mistrust issue between the JV partners, because yeah, obviously, like you said, you're gonna work with someone you trust. I was thinking more so if one of the partners, for whatever reason, couldn't fulfill their end, but they had like an outside party intervene. Now, so just a last question. So what you're saying is when you guys agree to do the JV, so let's say today, me and whoever decide that within Partner Driven, we're going to do a JV deal, and we agree we're going to split 50-50. Is that the point where you send that into whoever closes the deal, or you don't do that part until you actually guys are ready to close?
No, she's saying, Angel, correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that you do that when you send in to request the contract, or when you're ready to take that next step to get the
Right, when everything goes in.
Okay. Okay,
So,
then that
and I
makes
just
sense.
wanna,
Okay.
Again, because I don't want anybody to miss this point.
Yeah.
When you're doing a JV deal with somebody outside of Partner Driven, you're doing a JV between, say, my company, Angels Among Us, and Joe Blow LLC, whatever. We're going to the closing table. Okay?
Right.
We are going to the closing table. We don't go to the closing table with Partner Driven. Partner Driven closes that, and then they pay us our portion. Okay, so there's a difference there.
Okay.
It's really not the same. You're not going to sign a JV agreement on something that you're not even closing on. We don't close on these houses with Partner Driven. They do. And then they give us our portion.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so it's a little different.
Okay.
And I want you to understand that. It's a little different. If you're doing this outside of Partner Driven, you should have a JV on file for everyone that you're JVing with somebody.
Right.
Period. Because that can really go south.
Yeah.
But we depend on Partner Driven because they're closing on it and then paying us.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you. That makes it a little clearer. Cause in my mind, I'm just like I said, because I've been doing other businesses. In my mind, I'm thinking if we're JV doing a joint venture, we're automatically signing something. But that cleared it up. Thank you.
Yep. And by the way, welcome to the family. We're really excited that you're here. That's really good stuff.
Thank you.
A South Carolina person. She almost made it, up here to God's country, North Carolina. But she's close. It's I guess South Carolina would be kind of like purgatory. I don't know. But anyway, Gail, what you got?
No, yeah, I agree with Angel 100%. Partner Driven is okay, and outside of that, I put my trust only in title companies because in this business you really have to have some protection. And I can't tell you how many people here, not just by JV, but more like wholesale, that really don't have the correct paperwork, talking to the wrong people, don't know what they're doing, they don't even know what they're reading, and the next thing you know, this person's already took their deal and got paid and gone.
Yeah, they bought a book, not a family, and I think that's part of the reason why they don't get what they're doing and they don't have any kind of coaching. And I totally agree with you. You get with a title company that's local that you can trust, and you can do a lot of things there. You can put money in escrow. You can have them hold that money for you. So I mean that's
what I do. Yes.
Yeah, and that's coming from a veteran person who's done several different, who's done a lot of deals. Let me just put it that way. Mark, what you got going on, man?
Yeah, I've done several of those on the side with my realtor and my cash buyer, and you have to have a contract with them if you're not going through Partner Driven. I haven't done one through Partner Driven because they're so easy. Everybody else kind of takes over the ones that I've done, and it's so easy that it's kind of hard to get Partner Driven in the mix. So, and I was driving along, and I got to figure out how to do this while I'm driving. So I came back in because I wanted to make that comment, and I also wanted to make a comment about, I'm thankful for I'm finally getting to the end of adopting my grandson, and it's been so laborious and so hard.
Awesome.
I'm so thankful to the Lord that we have him, and and it's but they put you through the ringer.
Yeah.
Man, but anyway, I'm just so thankful for that, and I wanted to say that. And I've kind of taken the last couple weeks off because of it, but I'm getting back in the saddle.
I was wondering why you weren't around for a while, but let me just say that whole adoption process. My wife and I wanted to adopt. They told us we were too old. I'm going. Is it too? I mean, it's kind of weird because it's kind of like I thought you would just want a home full of love and that, but apparently that's not good enough.
I'm 65, and I mean they put you through the ringer. I mean all you're thinking is I just want to take care of this baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, but anyway, thanks for everything. And does Angel or anybody have a copy of the contract you use when you do it? I just use a transfer contract. I don't know what you guys have been using.
Yeah, I have an actual JV agreement that I have from another group. Yeah.
There you go. So Angel,
Can you share that?
Yeah. Angel is our resident JV expert.
Can you share that agreement?
Yes, Mark, I will share that with you.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. And I hope you get your voice back in time to do
I know. Got a lot of calls to make.
There you go. And I want to see that polka dance. So again, these are the questions that I would be throwing out there. What do I need? How much is that worth to me? And what do we agree on once I talk to the person who is doing this? And then just get some sort of signature on that where you both agree to it. You know, that's as really as official as I would make it. But I did want to share that. And I'm really, really thankful. By the way, guys, if you have not gotten into the university and watched the Wild Wednesday shows, you were missing out. Last week, Julie basically Wild Wednesday bombed us, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome because she talked about driving for dollars. She talks about her script, and if you haven't heard Julie on the phone, it's a real work of art. Peter's kind of like the hey, you selling your house? No, okay, thanks. Whereas Julie will go in and she'll say, hey, I just saw your house. It's so pretty. I can't do Julie, but I can do the Peter side. So I'm just saying that's on there. The amazing show with Tommy, who I am blessed every day to work with. I never thought I'd say it about somebody from the Air Force, but I am. But Tommy and his wife on networking through the Chamber of Commerce and some of their local networks and how that developed their business is absolutely phenomenal. I think that was the week before, and then it was either 1 week or 2 weeks before the incredible Stefan was on talking about how he built a cash buyers list that means that, and here's the beauty of that. So when you look at a deal, you have to decide which bucket it fits in, so to speak. Okay, it might fit in a partner-driven bucket. It might not, but guess what? Hey, I got cash buyers, we'll do it. So there you go. Dale, you can close this out today. What you got, man?
Yes, sir. Real simple. This came from you, Bob, and it's about people that take action or don't take action. And recently I put on the Facebook page, auction.com, and HUDhouses.com. They're both excellent sources of finding property, and there's no reason why anyone here can't find properties. And that I'll put that on there for a reason, hopefully to help anybody that really just needs to get started. It's a place to start, and if you don't start now, win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? If you don't start now, then when? Hey, this is what I like to do with holidays. I like to ask myself, where am I going to be next Thanksgiving? Get a mental picture of that, and then get those small daily actionable habits like what Angel takes every day and what Dale takes every day and what the winners, Jamari, he's out there knocking on doors, every day. So see those habits and do that. It's real simple. That's really what it takes. That's what it's all about. So take action, guys. We love you. We are super, super thankful for each and every one of you, and I really appreciate all your contributions here. Kara, thank you for being on here and sharing so much. Appreciate you, Colleen, for jumping on and sharing so much. Angel, Jamari, absolutely awesome. And I really, really am so grateful for you guys jumping on and sharing your experience because I'm hoping that's going to help people build their business. And Dale, of course, thanks as always. Mark, good to see you again, and I hope that you've got a baby for Christmas. I think, right? That would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be awesome. So, love you guys again. Thank you so much for sharing, and we will see you. Oh, Stefan.
No, just wanted to make sure, friendly reminder that we will be off tomorrow.
That. So Thursday and Friday, we will be off. We will be with family, friends, and doing all that stuff. So love you guys, and we will see you next Monday.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, y'all. Recording stopped.
In the Pacific in 1943, the tide of battle had turned. The American forces, led by the largest navy in history, were preparing to meet the embattled enemy. Millions of men, thousands of ships made ready for this great offensive. And at the island of Paratuba in the heart of the South Pacific, the men of PT Boat 73 under Lieutenant Commander Quinton McHale, had more than their share of hazardous missions.